Peace, Power, Hotep. I go by the name of Brother Maitreya Asek, Chairman of the Hugh P. Newton Gun Club DMV chapter. And this is episode 2 of the War Report. I am your host for this evening. Today's topic is going to be entitled "When History Repeats Itself." What do I mean by that? Well, us as a people, when we make some of the same mistakes that we made in the past, it affects how we operate in the present and in the future. If you don't, you're never going to know where you're going if you don't know where you have been first. So I guess today's topic will be to go back and to see some of if you want to call progress that we made in the past and how that affects us in the present and in the ongoing future. Because this is the mantle that we're going to have to pass down to our youth and the next generation. So we don't want to continue some of the same failed practices that we've been doing in the past. So with that being said, when history repeats itself, I'm going to delve in a little bit into the civil rights movement in the early 50s and 60s. Really earlier before that, like in 1948, there was an executive order passed, Executive Order 9981, which passed which led to segregation within the armed forces. There's also legislations like the 1954 Brown versus Board of Education. 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat to a white man, which sparked the Montgomery bus boycott. 1957, Eisenhower signs the Civil Rights Act to basically help protect voter rights. What really have these voter rights have done? During that time, we owned half of 1% of the world's wealth, and today we still own half of 1% of the world's wealth. So it's obvious that voting has not got us anywhere. So when people say, well, your ancestors died for you to vote, I don't agree with that. Our ancestors died because they were black. And some of them did want to vote, yes, because maybe they didn't understand that at the end of the day, they're not going to be able to vote themselves out of oppression. But they would believe that they would be led out of oppression with voting, or at least so it seems. But it didn't work out that way. A lot of people say that the civil rights movement was really kicked off in 1954 after the murder of our young brother Emmett Till, who was murdered. He was lynched, actually, August 28th, 1955, in Mississippi. He was accused of whistling or making passes or advances to a white woman, whom I believe that she's still alive today. Her name is Carolyn Bryant. And that pretty much kicked off the civil rights movement, the Montgomery bus boycott, which Rosa Parks would later have a seat in the front in the place of a white man who wanted to sit in that seat. So I bring all of that up for what? We made demands in the past. Our demands in the past were equal rights, justice, human rights, stuff like that. Although it afforded us some laws that were passed, like laws that were passed that were pretty much for us to help us build and stuff like that. But really, these laws ended up being passed, looked over to us and passed to other groups of people. And eventually it didn't work out for us with these laws. So what are we asking for today? I'm kind of rambling, but you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying. But what are we asking for today? Today is a different story. We're not asking to eat at your counters. We're not asking to join you in your churches or join you in your schools. What we are asking for is, one, an immediate end to police brutality and tyranny, state-sanctioned violence. Okay, we are asking for that. And we're not asking no more. As you can see, we're out there in the streets, we're demanding it. And if we don't get what we need to survive in this country, the people who built the economy of this country, if we don't get what we need, well, then you see what's happening. The cities are being burned down. And I, for one, I love it. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. If black people can't live comfortable in this country, then none of us can be comfortable. That's how I see it. We're all going to have a little bit of discomfort. Number two, we want our reparations. We built this country, 400 years of free labor, another 100 years of Jim Crow, redlining, all of these things that just hinder us, destroying our black businesses, our black communities, the destruction of Black Wall Street, the destruction of Little Africa, which is now Central Park, the destruction of Rosewood, all of our thriving towns that have been annihilated and destroyed just because of jealousy of black progress and people not wanting to see black Americans thrive on their own. So we think that reparations will help repair some of that. It won't make up for 400 years of complete brutality and forced free labor, but it will be a good start. Also, what we want is land allocation. Okay, that can be a part of the reparations deal. You had the Homestead Act, which a lot of people from different countries, Ireland and different European countries, they were afforded land among just thousands of acres of land just given away for free. And then that was the Homestead Act, and that basically you could giving away land, to people. This was land that we fought. We black people fought in every single war in this country. We were not awarded any of that land. So we do want land allocations. We can make reservations. We can continue to make our own cities and streets and hospitals and plane stations and gun shops and things of that nature. So yes, we do want our land. We feel that it is rightfully owed to us. So this is what we are asking for today. We're asking for an immediate end to police brutality. We are asking for our reparations. You can start off with a $20 trillion check. Okay, that's about $500,000 per person. That's a descendant of American slavery that come from the killing fields of American slavery. And also, we want our land. Okay, we don't just want that; we need that. And as a matter of fact, we coming to get that. Peace and power, and remember, the revolution starts with you.